Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, audience. Ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to this edition of Yoruba Autonomy Open Editorial Digest Monologue. In this edition, what I want to talk about is the trending word of this generation, of this century. The word is not new, but the way we are now applying what it meant or how we ascribe its meaning is different. And the word that I'm talking about is terror. From terror, you get the added word to it, ism. There used to be the word terrorism, what it means. But terror itself, what it meant is something that brings fear, that creates fear in one's mind. Something that's terrifying situation. But now in that terrifying situation, in this generation of this century, we now have terrorism, what creates fear. And when we hear terrorists these days, we are thinking about those that carries dangerous weapons, people that are scofflaws, that doesn't care about the law. They acquire illicit guns, illicit bombs, illicit things that are forbidden, at least for the peace of society, is forbidden to a set of people, the civilian population anywhere in the country. You are not supposed to be carrying bombs around, carrying guns around without permissions, without permits that is granted by constituted authority. But there are people and individuals that constituted themselves into authority. They call them scofflaws, people that doesn't care about what law you are making referral to. So, in what we are talking about now, the meaning of the word terrorism has changed, similarly changed. Governments use it now to classify a group of people, to demean them when they are afraid of that group, their agitations, when as protesters are classified. First, the governments in respective countries around the world will classify it as the group to be terrorist groups. That is, they don't care. They terrify people, they do terrifying things, they do forbidden things. So has the word changed into something else? Yes, it has. Terror used to be something that scares. So now there are government-backed groups that are classified by another government as being terrorist groups to demean, to condemn. Then you hear government saying they are terrorist group. And there are those that we already know. Let me say me. There are those that I already know that they seems to have, I should say, to become custodians of the classifications of people, individuals, governments that they do not like. They will classify them as terrorist groups. And we applaud, because when we don't like the people, whenever we have governments that classify them for us, they will say they are terrorists. For example, the Yoruba Self-Determination Group, of which I am a member. We have different platforms. My platform, we have an unwritten oath that we will not terrify people, but we will go and be out there and protest, make ourselves known. We don't cover our eyes. We don't cover our faces. We just say we are opposed to this, and the government of Nigeria that have misgoverned the partitioned nation groups. There are no tribes in Africa. We are nations. And we have been nations before the existence of Europe. We have existed with monarchies before William Wilberforce came to Africa, before Tubman Goldie, and all of those that we know in the British history in Africa. But when they came for our goods and not for our good, we did not recognize what they came for. At that time, we did not see the British as terrorist groups. We did not see white people as terrorists in Africa when they first arrived. But now, events, data, and information have revealed who they were. They were terrorists. Whites were terrorists in Africa when they arrived. But the Africans did not even know who they were, what they were for, because they hide their intention. They even use what organized groups now call religion groups. They were just using intellectual avenues to confuse us Africans, and then once they got us into having faith in them, believing them, trusting them, because we made the mistake of trusting white people before we verified their mission, which was what we were supposed to be. These are people that are different from us in so many ways. I mean, their hair is different from our hair, their skin is different from our skin. They are just coconut people. They see us as like coconut that we are, brown on the outside, some of them white on the inside. So, terrorism is what the world now uses to demean, to defame who you are, and classify you and condemn you to the oblivion of society. So the word terrorism doesn't just hold on to the ordinary meaning of terror. Something that terrifies. I mean, so many things can be a terror. You're walking in the African regions where there are trees are falling. If you are coming, you are walking in the village farms and trees are falling. This can evoke fear. Extreme fear is terror. You know, when you get to the level of being extremely afraid, you are terrified. A falling tree can make you feel terrified. You're scared for your life. That's what terror is. And terrorists are people that make you to be afraid and fear for your life. And terrorism is carrying it about around the world. So terror is not just the meaning it was centuries ago. It has put on a different garment. Thank you all for listening. And my name again is Femi Akinrimisi, and you can reach me at +1 727 333 0403. Thank you.